Today I'm going to talk about the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, what is the Pledge of Allegiance to me? Pledge of Allegiance to me is a saying that I've been saying in school since I was little. Not really understanding what it meant or why I was saying it or anything else, and no one ever objected to saying it. It was just something that we did. The history of a pledge is Francis Bellamy, who was a Baptist minister. He wrote the pledge in August 1892. He was a Christian socialist, and before the pledge became famous, it was published in the September issue of the Youth Companion, which was the leading family magazine, which would be the equivalent, I guess, of the Today's Reader's Digest or something. But the pledge became a part of the U.S. flag code in 1942. And in 1954, President Eisenhower and Congress added the phrase, "under God," to the pledge. The controversy simply is, should "under God" remain in the pledge? Well, there are plenty of people who think both ways. The people who are pro God should stay in the pledge. They think that under God in the pledge, that this nation was found on Christianity, so it just makes sense to have it in there. According to a study, at least 80% of Americans support the phrase. The language reflects on America's civic culture and is not a religious statement. Federal law, state constitutions, currency, and the presidential oath already contain references to God. The people who are against having God, they say that church and state should remain separate. Church and state. They argue that the Constitution protects minority rights against majority will, and that the words "under God" in the pledge are a religious phrase and thus violates the clause of the First Amendment. So that's what this kind of goes all back to, is the First Amendment. People are saying that it's being violated because of that phrase. But public polls, because it has been considered being taken out, public polls say that 68% of people believe that teachers who include "one nation under God" in the pledge were not violating the principle of separation of church and state. 36% say that they were. 73% of respondents say that the pledge, including "under God" phrase, is primarily a statement related to American political tradition. 18% say that it was primarily a religious statement. So we have people who think both, but it's pretty obvious that more people think that it's supposed to be in there than who are offended by it. Now, after doing some research and just my public opinion, I don't think that the "under God" statement is a problem. I don't have a problem saying it. I never have. And I am not a very religious person. So, to me, to say God is not saying God. It's saying more or less of a whatever you believe in as a person. You could, whatever God or whatever thing you believe in, things, plural, anything you believe in, you say "under that." I mean, it's basic. It's whatever interpretation you want to make it. I think that people have become very sensitive, and they're just trying to find things that it's not that big of a deal, and trying to make it a bigger mountain out of a molehill is what people are trying to do with this. Like I said, I'm not religious. I've never gone to church. I don't really have an opinion on religion. I don't have one, really. I mean, like, I've just never gone to church, and saying it does not offend me. It doesn't make me upset. It doesn't make me, it doesn't bother me. So do I think it should be changed? No, not really, because people shouldn't be so sensitive, and God may be whatever it is you believe. If you believe in a pen, sure, why not? Let's say One Nation Under, my favorite pen. I think that by saying it, One Nation Under God, is saying it as like a kind of more respectful way, a thing to the people who have founded this country, because this country was founded by pilgrims who were Christian. So saying that, I think that it does show a kind of respectful thing. But as far as getting upset about it, I just don't see. I don't see the point. So that's just how I feel about the under God being in the pledge, and I would try to persuade people to not be so. To not think about it so literally, and be more not so sensitive.